welcome back to A Face for Radio. I am so excited this week to be talking about my all-time favorite beauty product, the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. My personal beauty guru, Kavya, is here. I met her as a sophomore in college, and ever since, she's been my guiding light towards all kinds of great products and services. She's my first text whether I need a new eye cream, a detox mask, or even a haircut. She always seems to have the answers. This was the first episode I ever recorded, and it's a little bit more back and forth conversational than interview, in part because I couldn't stop talking. But it does give you a feel for what a normal conversation between Kavya and me is like. So I feel very lucky to be able to share some of her wisdom with you today. Enjoy and let me know what you think of this format. Thank you for doing this.
Of course, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I'm also excited and nervous that I'm starting with jet lag mask because I am like so hyperbolically like anytime anyone asks, I'm like, if I were only to use one product, it would be this.
Oh my God, I know.
That's how like much I love this.
I love a lot about it.
Yeah. Okay, well yeah, I wanna get your opinion, but I wanna start and just like ask you like describe like kind of like how you view your skin and your skin type and kind of like how you got to like that level of like just knowing what works for you. Tell me everything.
I'd say it took me a while. I wasn't always into skincare. I think for me, like growing up, my mom is the type of person where she was like, coconut oil is the cure for everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she uses it for everything as like a hair mask, for dry skin. Like for her, that is her beauty product, holy grail.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of exposure to like a lot of stuff other than I think my first product was like an Olay like basics moisturizer.
I was gonna ask. I was like, do you remember your early like
Yeah,
skincare?
one of like the Olay sensitive skin moisturizers that I actually still have in my collection to this day. It's got
Wow.
25 SPF. It's really, really basic.
Nice.
And it's like a great, just simple moisturizer. And I think it was
Yeah.
like a good gateway product. But I
Yeah.
think it took me a really long time until maybe like after college for me to know for sure what my skin type was. Like I always
Yeah.
thought it was dry, like I had dry sensitive skin.
Yeah.
But then when I went to Heyday for the first time,
Yeah.
like a year and a half ago, that was when I like first saw an esthetician who was like, no, you have more like normal skin, but it's drier in the winter time.
Okay.
But otherwise she was like, I would say you have like normal edging on maybe sensitive, where like I've had some experiences where I have gone to a dermatologist a couple times from more of like um contact dermatitis, where
Okay.
sometimes, like if there's really heavy detergents or fragrances in like my laundry products or something like that, I've gotten like
Yeah.
some contact
Oh, I
dermatitis.
remember you mentioning this. Yeah.
Yeah, my like chin and cheeks, depending on like what fragrance was used. So I have
Yeah.
to be a little careful about that. But otherwise, I wouldn't say I have like super reactive skin.
Yeah.
But now I feel generally good about it being like normal to dry depending on the seasons.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So I guess did your routine change a lot after like you went to Heyday and they told you that?
Yes, I think they said I like went through my regimen. She felt pretty good about my using like the right types of moisturizers. The masks that I was using, like occasionally I had started a hyaluronic acid serum before going to Heyday. She recommended moving me away from more physical exfoliators to
Yeah.
more of like the chemical enzymatic
Yeah.
exfoliators. And so
That's what she told me too. Yeah.
she had used this amazing, I think it's by Image.
Hmm.
It was like a pineapple and papaya enzyme exfoliator. So it was like super natural enzymes.
Yeah.
And it worked so amazingly after that first use that I like instantly
Yeah.
got it from Heyday.
Yeah.
And then that kind of like segued me into looking into a couple more AHA, BHA exfoliators and like getting
Yeah.
that world a little bit more. So I'd say that was like the big change to my skincare regimen that came out of.
Wow. Yeah, I remember. So Heyday, if anyone's listening who doesn't know, is like a facialist, like spa in New York that Kavya actually told me about, like I guess in December. Yeah, and I have to say I went one time like right before quarantine, and I remember my mom being like, you shouldn't go, like you probably shouldn't be doing like beauty treatments. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. Like if everything closes, like I gotta do it now. And I just remember my skin was just like glowing, and I had seen a dermatologist because when I moved to New York, my skin was just like breaking out like crazy. And they like, I don't even think the dermatologist like touched my face before she was like, I can give you hormones. And I was like, that's not really why I came here. But I went to Heyday and I was like, wow, my skin is like so much clearer, so much cleaner. And it just, so that was like, I loved that. So plug for Heyday if you're in New York.
They actually expanded now to Philly and LA. So there's
Oh,
more
okay.
options
There
now.
you go. Okay. Yeah, no, I love Heyday. That's like one of the first things I'm gonna do when I can. Whenever whenever that is.
Me too.
But okay, so I want to ask you about Summer Fridays because I'm like dressed as Summer Fridays. I'm like a huge fan of the brand, but especially of Jet Lag Mask. Um, and I know, like, I remember I bought it the day it came out on Sephora. So I really, it's like the first thing I can remember. Like I bought it then and I've used it ever since. It's like probably one of the few things, but I want to know about like kind of your experience and like when you started to love it and how much you use it and just everything that you about Summer Fridays. Jet lag.
Yeah, I mean, I think initially, honestly, I was a little skeptical because I was like, I think, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. I was in consulting at the time.
Yeah.
Um, and influencer brands, I think I was like a little skeptical about because
Yeah.
so many different products were coming out of like just the influencer scene, and there were like a number of questionable ones
Yeah. Yeah.
that I was skeptical about. I think with Summer Fridays, after I started hearing a little bit of the hype and I was traveling a ton at the time, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this seems like actually kind of perfect.
Yeah.
And it seems like they were traveling all the time too.
Yeah.
So it did seem like a product that made sense. And I liked that it was targeted kind of at people who travel a lot
Yeah.
as being like, this is the setting. You don't have to be that like kind of crazy person on the plane wearing like a full face sheet
Yeah.
mask. And this is like a little bit more tolerable maybe from a public setting sense. um, and so yeah, I think, I don't know if I got the full size first or the mini first, but I know they have a mini now. I don't remember
Oh
if they
yeah, I have it. I actually have all my supplies here, so
yeah.
I can show.
I have the full
This
size
is
and I
my
have
very
the
empty
mini.
mini size.
Oh, love it. And I love the mini size. I thought that was such a great move because like
Yeah, because
especially
you can't take the big size on the like in your
mhm,
carry-on. It's too big.
exactly.
So yeah,
And so yeah, I think it took me a little bit of time, but once I'd started hearing from people that it was like actually really worthwhile, I
yeah,
like got hooked pretty instantly.
yeah. It's so funny that you say that because one of the things I'd written to ask was like, do you find it like a confusing name? Because I'd honestly forgotten that they kind of started out as like, this is a good like travel product. Like it's good for hydrating your skin while traveling. Cause now I feel like people are like, oh, I use it as a moisturizer daily. I
Mhm.
actually had my mom get into it. So she uses it like every night as her moisturizer now. Um, and I like anytime I feel dehydrated, if I'm out late, like I just use it all the time. So I completely forgot actually that that's why it was like jet lag mask because it was kind of catered to like the always traveling girl.
Just because like I feel like for at least my skin type, I'm the I'm usually okay in terms of like normal-ish skin. But
Yeah.
when I'm on flights, especially longer flights, and I was like traveling to and from Seattle a bunch then too,
Yeah.
T to the long distance. Um, I was just having like a lot of really dry skin
Yeah.
issues, and then also during the winter times,
Yeah.
and I started using it more as like a regular moisturizer and less of like a mask.
Yeah. So do you remember like there was there a time where you were like, I've been using this for a month, 2 months, and you're like, oh, this is good. Like I know this is good.
Um, I don't know if there was an exact moment. I just remember the first time I used it, I was like,
Yeah.
I was just so excited by how much like plumper and healthier my skin felt
Yeah.
pretty much immediately because I liked that you could use it pretty much any way you wanted depending on the situation.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to use it as an overnight mask, like go for it. If you want to use it as like a spot treatment for like a dry spot,
Yeah.
it's amazing for that. But if you want to do like a quick 10-minute mask or a 5-minute mask, like it works amazingly in that setting.
Yeah.
So I think I was just like instantly amazed how good my skin felt after the first use almost.
Yeah. I think I felt the same way. Like even now when I put it on, I can feel like my skin like has like this singing sensation. It just like feels like good. And I don't know how else to describe it, but I always just feel like, oh, this is nice. Like I know I'm doing something good.
I felt
Uh,
like both it felt really nice instantly, and I love multi-purpose products. Like
yeah.
I even for makeup and skincare, like I like having both like a cheek and blush duo situation that I can use
Yeah.
for anything. And I
Yeah.
like that I could use this mask in like 800 different ways.
So do you typically do it like how often are you using it now? Like are you doing it all over your face or just like specific areas?
Um, in the winter I was using it almost daily, if not
Oh
every other
wow.
day,
Okay.
as like a nighttime moisturizer.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because that's when I tended to be really dry. I'm in New York,
Yeah.
we've got like radiators. It's just like a super dry
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
And even with like a humidifier that I have in my room, it's just like not
Yeah.
working
No.
amazing.
Yeah.
So the winter time I was using a lot more. Now that it's gotten warmer and more humid, I've transitioned to using it kind of as needed, more of like a spot treatment or like a hydration mask.
hmm
I think I've been using it maybe like once every week or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like I do it like twice a week on like weekends, which
Yeah.
is more of like habit because I always feel like I need more hydration if I'm like out later or like sleeping later on weekends. Although now I guess I don't have that concern, but yeah. And I always feel like I put it like all over my face and I put a thicker layer like under my eyes. So it's kind of like for me a two-in-one like moisturizer and eye cream.
I feel like for me, I use it more now that I'm thinking of like a pattern, probably either the day of or the day after I use my AHA BHA serum.
Okay.
Just because I
Yeah.
feel like with the more concentrated, like enzymatic
Yeah.
exfoliator, then the next day I feel like a little drier.
Yeah.
And so then I tend to like lather a heavier moisturizer on, which I feel like this generally is for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. That makes sense. Like I've kind of like saved it for days when I know like I need a little bit more. And I always feel like the next day I wake up and I'm like, oh wow, like this feels really good. Like my skin looks a little brighter, like a little clearer. I even noticed like I think so going back to the airplanes, I noticed like if I put it on repeatedly while I'm flying, like anytime I remember, like I'm like, oh, I'm starting to feel a little dry. I actually notice like my skin doesn't break out as much as it does like if I don't use it and I just like leave the airplane like not feeling like my skin is in desperate need of some major help. So
And I think it was actually like I was looking at the ingredients earlier, and I think it's one of the earlier vitamin C products I'd used because I still hadn't like
oh,
incorporated a vitamin C for a while. I think it took me a while to like start
I
finding
didn't even know it had vitamin C.
those,
But let me read the
but I
box.
think it may have had.
Well, okay, so one thing I was going to ask you is you said you're like sensitive to fragrance. So I think this is fragrance free or artificial fragrance free. But so that you never found that like there was anything in it that aggravated you from a
No, no,
fragrance
never
standpoint.
had any issues with it.
That's good. Because I do feel like it does smell like nice. It does smell like
Mhm.
it has scent. It's not like totally scent free. Um, but I guess a lot of the things that are like scented are like peppermint oil, like citrus. So it's like more natural, like cucumber fruit extract. So
Exactly.
yeah, I
Let
guess it
me see.
wouldn't
I'm
irritate
looking
your
at
skin.
Sephora's website, and they said that yeah, it's got chestnut extract, which like has some natural exfoliation in it.
Yeah.
Vitamin C, not really sure from where, but I see that it's got like orange peel oil and stuff. Um, and niacinamide, which I think is supposed to be really good.
Yeah. So have you used other so do you put it on and then like sleep with it on or you wash it off? Okay, yeah, me too. But have you like tried other like sleeping water, sleeping like I'm thinking of like the Laneige one, which is like a pretty cult classic. Um
I've only used the Laneige sleeping lip mask, but I
oh,
haven't
okay.
used. I guess they have like a face like water bank or something like that, right?
Yeah, they have a water sleep mask, which I use it different 2 nights of the week, which is also good, but I definitely think this one is just like much creamier, much like I do think it's more hydrating. I just think like when I wake up, I know the next day like my skin will look good or like will be better. Um,
Yeah.
but I also think one thing with this is like I don't know enough about this, but it is like clean at Sephora, the
Mhm.
Summer Fridays one, which I think is like a good baseline, but I don't really know enough about like what their criteria mean or like what criteria they've chosen to like give you that label. Um, so it sounds good, but I'm like hesitant to be like, oh, it's clean, so it's good, because like I don't really know for sure. Because I read about how like if a product has fragrance as an ingredient, then they can like just put all the like toxic stuff in the fragrance, but that wouldn't be counted as like the like bad stuff.
Exactly. That's kind of where I am too with how much I like take the clean label into consideration.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so my next question was like, do you use any of the other Summer Fridays products, or did you like it enough that you wanted to try some of the others?
Yes. So I think when I went into Sephora maybe like a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
um, the R&R mask was on like a super sale. Like I
Oh
think it
yeah,
was like
yeah, yeah,
25
yeah,
bucks or something like
yeah,
that. And so I was like, sure, why not? Like I'll pick it up. And I have used it a good amount, mostly in the winter time, just because
yeah,
like it is such an interesting oily consistency. And I think it took me a while to get used to even how to use it because
okay.
it's such like an oil serum
Mm-hmm.
consistency, and you're also not supposed to like wash it off
Yeah.
completely. And so I think I totally messed up the first time I used it, where I tried to wash it off and I was like scrubbing at my face trying to figure out
Oh
at
yeah.
what point there was going to
Yeah.
be like anything coming off of my face,
Yeah.
and like how I was going to remove the sugar and like rose petal granules, um,
Mm-hmm.
without like losing all of the serum's benefits. So I think like the the ease of use is a little questionable of
Yeah.
that one. And it's a little bit like messier, I think,
Yeah.
because of the oily serumness of it. But I love the scent of it. I love all things rose, so like that really appealed to me. I think sometimes the like sugar and rose petal granules can be
Yeah.
actually a little harsh.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I think that they're like not as uniform or like as grainy as I would have liked. They're a little
Mm-hmm.
larger than my preferred exfoliation
Okay.
size.
Yeah.
But I actually like love the oil serum.
So maybe that they should, if they're listening, they should release it as just a serum.
Yeah, I really like it,
Um,
especially for like those dry winter days.
yeah.
I used it more so then. I can't see myself using it that much right now.
Yeah.
Um, so it's
I
more of
so
like a situational product.
yeah, that's interesting because I feel like that's the weakest product by far in the entire line. And that's caveat someone who like literally uses every single product and loves all of them. So yeah, it's like ranked my lowest. But I think a big one of it is the reason for it is like ease of use. It's just like it's complicated, it's messy, and it feels like tiring. Like, okay, I have to sit with this and I have to like dab it off and then like pat it into my skin. It's just a lot of steps, whereas like the others are kind of like do one thing, wash it, or like leave it. Um, so I've always kind of felt like that was like kind of the weaker product, or weakest of all of theirs. And it almost like didn't feel like as successful as some of the others just because I guess it may be just that like it's just hard to use. Um,
Yeah, I kind of figured that may have been why it was so discounted at
yeah.
Sephora.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed like the Sephora sale that just happened, like they kept selling out of every single Summer Fridays product
Yeah.
repeatedly. That was the one thing that did not keep selling out. Everything else like sold out multiple times every day. I don't know. Because I had alerts because my mom and I were really like, if we're stuck in quarantine, we're gonna need a lot of these products. So we were like eagerly waiting every morning for the restocks. But that was one that we were kind of like, we don't really need another one.
I really wanted to try the vitamin C serum, but I have not yet gotten my hands on it. But in terms of masks, my roommate had the overtime mask, which I know is like the pumpkin-y one. So I've tried it a
I
couple
love that.
times. And I do like it. I like that it also has a little bit of chemical exfoliation and physical.
Yeah.
And I love the smell of it. It's like pumpkin.
Yeah. With overtime, I actually think so. I remember when it first came out, because again, now that I'm hooked on jet lag mask, any Summer Fridays thing, I pretty much order it the day it comes out. So overtime I got again right when it came out, and I think they released it in the fall because I think that just like makes sense. And I remember thinking like I really like this, but I feel like it's weird to use it outside of the fall because of like, it's very pumpkin-y. But then I remember I ran out and I didn't buy it because I was like, oh, it's kind of a fall thing, and I noticed a like serious difference in my skin. Like that was something that I was like, oh, I'm missing. My skin is missing it. So now I have it all year. But I will say it does last a lot less. Like I run out much quicker of that than any of the other products.
I agree too. I think that makes a lot of sense. And but I do appreciate it having kind of both the I guess it's like pumpkin enzymes. Maybe it also
yes. So it is an enzyme. Yeah. So I have the like new box. I just got a new
but
one.
I do need to use a lot more because it's both. I need to get both like the mask portion and the granule portion and like the right proportion.
But yeah, I like this a lot. I think it feels good. It feels like it really cleans my skin. And I think, so I've always seen like Mariana Hewitt, because I follow her like religiously. I've always seen her like she'll use and then like put on jet lag mask to like go to bed.
Yeah.
So that's often what I'll do if I do it at night.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, exactly. Following any type of exfoliation with the jet lag mask, I think is probably the
jet lag mask I think is just like a great finisher to like any skincare routine.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I have to ask you about, have you tried this, the new like butter balm? Have you seen this?
I have seen it, but I don't know. I'm such a Glossier Balm.com.
Okay, I'm so glad you're saying this.
I just like, I can't really see myself paying like basically what, $10 more per tube?
Yes. Okay, so let me tell you like my whole thing. Like they released it like being right before the Sephora sale, so I was like, all right, well, my 20% off is like not really much, but I mean it just like incentivizes me, I guess. I saw so many influencers using it and I was like, their lips all look so plump and shiny, and I was like, I don't know how many of them have fillers, but it looks really good. So I was like, okay, I'll just try it. And again, like I only use Glossier Balm.com on my lips. I think that's like the only thing that's worked for me in the last couple of years. But I do feel like sometimes with Glossier, I sometimes feel like I am paying for like Vaseline that has some flavor in it.
Totally.
Right. So I'm like, okay, well, and I expected this to be the same, because I expected this to be the same consistency and like the same thing, just like different packaging. And I was really surprised. It's not really like that. It's much like, it's more of like a jelly kind of consistency.
Really?
Yeah, and it's more like it. So I'll put it on now. I have it on right now a little bit, but it does like instantly make my lips look a little fuller, and, like very shiny, like a lip gloss. But it doesn't feel sticky. Like if my hair goes, it doesn't stick to it.
Oh, interesting.
And I almost feel like it's more like I'm wearing lip gloss.
I wonder what the ingredient difference looks like between that and Balm.com.
I don't know. But I don't think I think I'm over Balm.com.
Really? Okay, yeah. So that means I have to try it then.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just so unfortunate because this is like pretty expensive for like a lip balm.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, I don't know. This seems like a lot.
So I was expecting, I don't know if you can see how small this is. I was expecting a bigger tube for $22, I think.
Yeah.
Compare like this is the mini Summer Friday jet lag, and this is it's like pretty mini. I was expecting a little bit bigger, but it is really good. And I just like really like it. I don't know how else to say it, but I just like really want to just like kiss everybody, obviously like from 6 feet away. But it just makes my lips feel really good, like very hydrating. The first time my mom got like a set from their website, and so it came in that first, and so I used hers, and I remember like she was like, oh, I got too much, have some, so I took it, And then I had to like brush my teeth after, and it stayed on after I brushed my teeth. So I was like, okay, that's good sign number one.
Wow, yeah.
And it was like at night, so I woke up and my lips felt really hydrated. That has gotten mixed reviews on like how hydrating it is, but I personally found it like pretty nice.
Well, I think I'll definitely have to try that next because
Yeah.
yeah, I've only been using glossiersbalm.com and I just kind of thought that
Yeah.
was like it.
I hate to not use it because I'm such a Glossier girl too, but this is just good. Like it makes me very happy to put on this product.
Does it have a scent to it?
Vanilla.
Okay.
It's a pretty strong vanilla. So if you don't like that, but I guess I don't really like the cake batter Glossier. I really don't like that. It's not like that at all.
Okay.
I find that to be like more sugary smelling. This is more like it smells like vanilla.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah. Yeah. This is good. I mean, this is like something where I'm like, I would say my ranking of products from Summer Fridays has always been like jet lag mask number one.
Yeah.
And then like over time, I've started using the cleanser too, but I would say this actually comes like a very close second to jet lag.
Really?
Yeah, which I think coming from me is a big thing because I'm like jet lag is like the holy grail to me.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, well that's super interesting. I'm definitely gonna go out and will not go out, but I'll definitely get it.
It's like a nice, it feels good to have this product. I'm like rationing it though. I'm like, okay, I'll use it like once a day.
Perfect. Well, okay. That makes sense. I'll definitely go. I feel like I've been jumping from like brand to brand and having like a full like brand phase for a few months and then like trying something new.
Yeah.
And so while I like went through my Summer Fridays phase and now have like incorporated it into my core routine, I've like jumped to other brands, but I think I should come back to Summer Fridays and try their new stuff.
I think I'm always like eager to just try out their stuff. And like 9 times out of 10, I feel like I end up just keeping it and it becomes my core routine. And then I incorporate like other stuff around it. But this is definitely, I would say, like maybe my, besides jet lag,
Okay.
I would say this is number one.
Sold.
Yeah. So let me know, because I feel like this is my mom and I are the only two, like we are like, oh yeah, we love this, but it's like this the two of us. But yeah, let me know how you like it because I think it's been great for my lips.
Perfect. Well, I've had a bunch of stuff in my Sephora cart that I just keep adding whenever I'm just casually window shopping. So maybe this will give me the impetus I need to actually.
Okay. Well, then that's like my kind of like end of this. I wanted to ask like my goal in this would be to like ask everyone about current beauty or like skincare trends. But right now I feel like everything is kind of just like on pause. But I wanted to ask like, what are your like quarantine like self-care or skincare or like splurge Sephora, whatever kind of tips, buys that you are like excited about while you're home?
I have gone through just like, and you know this, a huge pharmacy phase. I'm a fan girl now.
Yes, I have that here too because I've used it twice since I got it.
Oh, you got the Honeymoon Glow.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm obsessed. That has like actually kind of changed my life.
Really? Okay, talk to me about that.
Well, it's like the first serious AHA BHA serum I've incorporated like religiously. I started using it maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. And now I've worked up to like maybe 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was pretty quick then.
Yeah, so I started off using it like maybe once a week for about a month and a half or so, then like twice, and now depending on how my skin's doing, I'll like up it or lower it. I think initially when I started it was winter, so I was using it less because I do feel like I need to combine it with something more hydrating because it can be a little tougher. It's definitely like a deeper exfoliation than I was used to before, so it took me a little bit of time, but I've seen such a difference in my skin, especially like some of the areas where I've had some like either hyperpigmentation or like acne scars. I feel like I've seen a lot of fading in those areas, and that was like very exciting to me because they were years old. And I just like, I think I saw it working instantly, which is always exciting when you see that in a product. Like obviously willing to expect to invest a lot of time in products because I know that's how skincare works. But it's like, it's fun when you see it immediately. So I've been absolutely loving that. And I like their mask a lot as well. I find that to be a really fun hydrating mask, and it's been just
The
like, fun to
honey potion, is that what it's called?
use.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that it's like yellow and more of like a jelly consistency, and then when you use it, it
Yeah.
turns white. Um,
Oh, cool. I
it's
actually saw
massage
that after the
activated.
sale ended, and that's why I haven't bought it because I was like, oh
Yeah,
no.
it's massage activated. A couple of their masks are massage activated. There's another one
Oh,
that's like green that turns purple when you massage, or vice versa. And so it's just like
interesting.
it's a fun skincare product to use. And so I've been trying
Yeah.
to like just play around more with skincare. I feel like I'm still a little slow in incorporating new items. I know
Yeah.
that, like you're the same way where it takes a
Yeah.
couple weeks to like add
Yeah.
one new product and decide whether or not it's like
Yeah.
causing any havoc on your skin. But it's been like nice to just have more fun with skincare.
Yeah. Well, okay, so obviously for those who don't know, like what when you get a new product, like what is your like kind of go-to routine to like see if test it, I guess, like over the first few weeks.
I think it depends what type of product it is, but generally I'll keep my entire routine the same, swap
Okay.
in or out one product, and test it for probably at least 2 weeks, if not
Okay.
more. I think like for me with honeymoon, um, for example, the serum, because I was only using it once a week, like 2 weeks isn't enough for me to know whether
Yeah.
or not it's causing any issues. So for that, it took me like closer to a month and a half of like maybe like 5 to 6 uses,
Yeah.
to see how my skin was reacting. I think if it was more of an everyday product, I'd probably know within like a week or two whether I was having any issues.
Yeah.
But generally, it's like at least 2 weeks. I'll just incorporate that one new product, not switch anything else out, and keep
Yeah.
everything else standard just to see how things are working.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's I think one time I went for a facial and the woman recommended to me, she was like, take everything out and just use the one product for 3 days. And I was like, okay, I mean that works if you're trying a new moisturizer, but if you're trying
Yeah.
like a toner or like this, like you can't do that for just 3 days straight.
Yeah.
So it's always good to hear like how people like incorporate new products.
Hmm.
Okay, so last thing, so like what is in your browsing cart at Sephora right now? You mentioned.
Oh, let me actually pull it up because I have a bunch of random things always. So I'm actually trying one product from this brand, but I'm really interested in trying more. It's
Okay.
a brand called Youth to the People.
Yes, I have tried a couple things I've gotten samples of.
Yeah, so I'm interested in it because I did get a sample of their Hydrate and Glow Dream Mask. So to answer
Oh,
your previous question, if I tried any other jet lag style like overnight masks, because I
yeah.
do like doing that,
Yeah.
especially in the winter. I have been trying for the last like maybe 2 weeks. So I can say probably with most confidence that it's working for me.
Okay.
Their Super Berry Hydrate and Glow Dream Mask, which is an overnight mask with hyaluronic acid, squalane, and vitamin C.
Oh, okay. Wow,
And so
that's
I
a good
like
one.
those products generally, and I think they're
Yeah.
really good for my skin. And so I've been trying that. And I've tried their superfood antioxidant cleanser. I got a
I've
sample of
tried
that.
that. Yeah. Did you like the cleanser?
Um, I I think that with cleansers, like it's hard for me to feel super strongly about them.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a perfectly okay cleanser.
Okay.
Um, but but like I don't know if I would like go out of my way to repurchase it.
Okay. I still feel like the best cleanser I own is like CeraVe hydrating cleanser,
Hmm.
and I buy other stuff and I try it and I like it, but I always come back to that and I'm always like this is it's kind of like my cleanser equivalent of jet lag mask. Like it's my number one.
I love this cleanser by Ole Henriksen,
Okay, which
and
one?
it's their, I want to say their Truth
So it's orange.
cleanser. It's orange, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the truth line. Yeah,
And it's
I
like a
love that stuff.
foaming. It smells like oranges. It's my favorite thing to use in the morning because it just makes me feel like so awake. It's like my face is drinking
Wow.
a glass of orange juice.
Oh, I
Um,
love that.
and so I really love that one. And so
Yeah.
that's in my cart right now because I need to repurchase it. And
I
I'm
would check
really
their website because they have a lot of specials on their website.
yeah, I think I saw that it was on sale.
Yeah. Because I keep getting emails like certain things 50% off or buy one get one 50% off. So
So that's in my cart. And then actually the Summer Fridays vitamin C serum has been in my cart for a while. I really,
yeah.
really want to try that one out.
Yeah. I tried it when it came out. I felt like it was a little too strong for my skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading about like vitamin C serums, and I found actually the original Ole Henriksen Truth Serum. So they have a
Mm-hmm.
new one, but they have like an original one, which is less intense and like they say a good first vitamin C. That's what the internet said.
I've used the Ole Henriksen one before, and I love it. I really
Yeah.
like that brand specifically for like the Orange Truth brand.
Yeah. Same. I use a lot of the the
Yeah.
banana vitamin
Yeah,
C. Yeah. I
exactly.
use the I and the C like rushed cream every
Mhm.
day. And I was getting ready before this and I was like, oh, like I have like 2 more days worth of the sea rush cream. And I was like, I guess I left the big one in New York. So I guess I'm not going anywhere, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a great line for vitamin C, especially if you are like newer to vitamin C, because I remember, I can't remember the name of the store, but it's like this like small like skincare store in Soho where the woman was like telling me about how people just like jump into like either like hyaluronic acids or like
Mhm.
harsh exfoliants or vitamin C's, and you're burning your skin if you just like go and get like a 15% vitamin C.
Yeah.
And so like the Ole Henriksen ones I think are good because it's vitamin C, it's brightening, it like really makes your skin look brighter and like helps with some of like dark acne scarring spots
Mhm.
that I've had. But it's not like, it doesn't burn you the way like vitamin C does. Like my mom loves vitamin C and she's like, oh, like this is good, it's burning my skin. I'm like, I'm not there yet. Like I don't want that sensation.
That's why I've been hesitant to get it so far, because I haven't like got my skin hasn't gotten used to vitamin C. I'm
Yeah.
still like a little hesitant in it, and I've used things like that used to the people mask
Yeah.
that has like a little bit of vitamin C, but everything I've used has just like a little dose. And so for most serums, it's a really high percentage of like 10 to 15%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. When you do try CC me Summer Fridays, let me know because we'll have to do a follow up when you
Good to
when you
know.
have a
Good to
review on
know.
that.